issue politik kata in Malaysia. Well, it's a very well-known issue, and it was relate to me very much about this frogging in Malaysia, even to the extent that I was being labelled as the king of frogs. Anyway, I feel so proud about it. But one thing the public doesn't know, and I'm reluctant to explain in detail, even though this question has been asked many times by other media when they met me. First, I'm not frogging. I changed party because of circumstances. I mean, to say in short, UMNO was declared unlawful in 1987, 88. So Tengku Rozali and group was not allowed to join UMNO baru when old UMNO was declared unlawful. So I followed Tengku Rozali. And UMNO was unlawful at that time. And I returned back to UMNO in 1991. Unfortunately, in 2003, when Dr. Mahathir stepped down as a Prime Minister and President of UMNO, Allah took over, and he decided to drop me as a UMNO Division Chief. So I protest because I've been dropped without any good reasons. There are many bad people compared to me, but they were retained. And I was a staunch supporter of UMNO, working day and night when Anwar was being sacked from the party. So when I've been dropped as a head of division for no reason, definitely I feel hurt. Then I contest independent. That's the reason I've been automatically disqualified as UMNO members. And I don't join any party at all since 2004. Even though PAS give an opportunity to me to contest under the banners of PAS, I'm the only one in the history of PAS that be given the opportunity to contest under PAS banners. But I'm not a PAS member. I was never a PAS member until I formed a new party, PUTRA, last year. So meaning to say, I don't change party for the sake of changing party, or hopping, or frogging. It is mere circumstances. Whereas others, they change party, they jump, and they are really frogging. They are really true frogs. Why? For example, I want to be very open. Like Amanah members, Muhammad Sabu and gangs. He contested in past. He lost the party. He lost in the election, the party election. And he formed a new party. Another, a group of UMNO, members of parliament. These people, they enjoy the life in UMNO. And some of them won the election under the UMNO ticket, like Datuk Mustafa Muhammad, Emas Yati, Hamzah Zainuddin, for example. But because UMNO lost the power, no longer as a government, after the PRU 14, so they jumped to Bersatu, joining Dr. Mahathir, who happened to be the 7th Prime Minister. So, these people jumped the party because of interest, looking for position. Even though the party that give them the opportunity to be a minister before and they enjoy life, but they just forget it just like that. And it's different from me. And there are others who jump party. 3, 4, 5 parties. From UMNO, they go to PAS, they go to PKR, then they go to Bersatu. Meaning to say, 4 or 5 parties, which is much bigger than me. So why I was called King of Frauds? Because it so happened that I am the first one who faced the problem after I've been dropped as a head of division. You see, I don't jump out from UMNO, no. I've been sacked because I protest and being the independent candidate in the election. Whereas it's totally different from me. Even in Sabah, you can see there are a lot of frauds in Sabah. You see? Some of them joining 6, 7 party right from UMNO. So, I would like to share my opinion. Even though I've been accused of many things, being a fraud before this, but I'm proud of myself because as far as principle is concerned, I would like to claim that I'm the most staunch politician that hold principle. What do you mean by principle? The true principle of to be a leader. You are not corrupt. You inherited good moral, never involved in any dirty things. Have you discovered that I have a video? Like Azmi Ali, for example. Do you hear any people talking about Ibrahim Ali corrupt? You see? Or abuse of power after 40 years in politics? Alhamdulillah. Syukur kepada Allah. Thanks God. If you talk bad about me, it's nothing else. But I'm outspoken. I'm aggressive. And I don't change party for the sake of changing party because of the personal interest. I'm the victims of my struggle. I'm the victim of my principle. So that's it about frauds. So please, but anyway, I would like to keep the title King of Frauds forever, if it is possible. Thank you. It's a long story about me and my family. Because my father was a head of village. They call it Penggawa. If other state, they call it Penghulu. So my father was being arrested because the public order for many years. And my family is quite a big family. My siblings, about 13 of them. We are a very poor family. So it affected my education. Until I took my SPM and higher school certificate education at the private school, Maktab Kadir Adabi. And even we face hardship in the family because my father was been taken away from us. I'm active at school since I'm in standard 1, class 1, standard 1. In standard 1, I was being made as head of the class, head prefect. All the way, I'm active. So to cut short, I took my HSC in 1971. After HSC, I put an application to join university, and I got an offer at University of Science Malaysia. But at the same time, I also applied to do law at Institute Technology Mara, because my ambition or my student day dreams is to be a lawyer or to be a pilot, army pilot, jet fighter pilot. Because after Form 5, I did apply to be apprentice at Malaysian Air Force. After the interview, I was dropped out because I don't fulfill the size of my chest. So I went back to continue my study and did my HSC. So I turned down the offer of USM. I joined ITM to do my law. How stupid I am at that time. I don't realize that law program at ITM at that time is an external program. It's a London University Bachelor of Law, and it's not easy to go through. And it is in English. So after I joined ITM for 3 or 4 months, I couldn't follow the lectures, and I knew that I'm going to be thrown out if I continue. And at the same time, I was appointed as a Secretary General of a student union in ITM, which is known as Kesatuan Siswa Institute Technology Mara. After I consult few lecturers, talked to my friends, I decided to change my course from LLB in ITM to mass communication. That was in 1972. And it so happened that masscom just started, and I'm the pioneer, the first group graduate as a, at that time, my time, they call it advanced diploma in mass communication. It's not, because ITM at that time is not being made a university, but it is advanced diploma mass communication. And I did my majoring in public relations, not journalism. And when I was a student leader in ITM, after I been made as a president of student union case ITM, with all my colleagues in ITM, to cut the story short, we are the one who fought to change ITM to be a university. It is all recorded in my biography. It is a well-known history. The big ever demonstration in our country happened on the 22nd of April, 1974. It's a hell of problems. Thousands of students was arrested. Few hundred was hospitalized. And ITM was closed down for almost 1 month. It's a big history. And the Prime Minister at that time was the late Tun Abdul Razak. And if I'm not mistaken, Tun Mahathir was the Minister of Education at that time. The late Tun Ghazali Shafi'i is the Minister of Home Affairs. And it so happened that he's also the chairman of UITM Council. It's a long story, long battle. And I'm really committed to make ITM as a university because we consider this a Malay agenda in education. Tun Arshad Ayub is still alive. Now he's 92 years old. Just celebrate his birthday, 92th birthday. You can talk to him the history. You can go to Arkib Negara. You can go to Bukit Aman Library. You can get all the photographs, the videos, what is happening on the 22nd April 1974. Can you imagine? Thousands of ITM students at that time, roughly about 6,000 from Shah Alam, beginning at 8 p.m. marching from Shah Alam to Parliament in KL. You just imagine. And we were very disciplined, very orderly, until we be fired by tear gas at Batu Tinggal, Shah Alam. There, everything getting havoc. But anyway, after I was arrested under ISA, first time in December 1974, at that time, I was about to go to my third year, 5th semester, Advanced Diploma Mass Communication ITM. So when I was arrested, I completed my study, 5th semester, 6th semester in Kelantan detention camp. I was arrested for 2 years together with Datuk Dr Ibrahim. We were put in dormitory or block 8, number 8, Kelantan camp. So, I completed my final year study in Kelantan camp. 5th semester and 6th semester. And I'm very proud of myself because my 5th and 6th semester I passed with what you call excellent results. I scored almost all A's in my subject, even though I have to study alone. And I thanks to Tun Arshad who allowed me to sit for my exam, because he was a director at that time. And my head of school, Datin Marina Samat, she's still around, she's still alive. And all my lecturers, including one Indian professor, Mr. Sankaran, who really cared for me and helped me to get through with my study. So I qualified. So when ITM been uplifted as a university, so advanced diploma mass comm been transferred as a degree program, Bachelor of Mass Communication. So when I was released from detention camp, there were, I think, about 2 or 3 months before graduation day, but I was not invited to attend my graduation day. So I checked, they said I was not invited. You can collect your scroll anytime at the office. I don't know why. Because I believe that they don't want the student, the graduate who receive degree together with me, give a big clap to me. So they don't want to be embarrassed. So later I received my degree through post office. That is my history. But anyway, it doesn't matter with me. I'm proud. At least I'm different from others. You see? And then later I formed a private institution, Kuala Lumpur Polytechnic. But in meantime, I was active in NGOs. So at one time I was selected by Friedrich Naumann Foundation from Germany to attend the so-called School of Freedom for 3 months in Germany, which I attended. That's why I learned about propaganda, about media. Together with me, there were about 60 students all over the world. So that I inherited a little bit of knowledge in media. In media in the form of propaganda, cyber. But when I say propaganda, I always involved with a true propaganda. It's not a what you call a make-up propaganda or fake propaganda. It is all the facts, but how to get our news to the public. So I learned from there. Then after that, I was invited to many conferences internationally, including communication conference, journalism conference in UK. So there I acquire more knowledge. And at the same time, after I lost the election in 2013, I had free time, I did my PhD. But the university that I choose is University of International University, IICU, Cambodia. Well, when you heard the name of Cambodia, everybody will look down. You see? People will look at UK, USA, Australia, Europe, but I decided to do my PhD in Cambodia. The one who suggested to me is Professor Sankaran, because he was attached to be a visiting professor at this IIC University. And you know the history of Cambodia? History of Cambodia have gone through a long fighting, civil war among them. So there are a lot of things to study. You see, if you go to America or UK, you will see the buildings. Of course, you see the great professor. But if you go to Cambodia, it's totally different scenario. So besides, I did my PhD in social science, also something to do with media, but getting to know history of Cambodia, how, the history of Pol Pot, the history of Hun Sen, the President Prime Minister, is worth study. Is a knowledge, is a good knowledge for politicians like me. You see? So after I really focused for almost 3 years, I got my PhD with my thesis. My PhD thesis The title of my PhD thesis is Affirmative Action in Malaysia, Paradigm Shift in Higher Education for Bumi Putra. So I have already published my thesis and supervised by Professor Sankaran Samanathan, my supervisor. So it's in the market, and few universities in America requested this thesis. So I graduated and I got my PhD. And you know what? There are, I don't say naughty, but they're right. Some doesn't believe that I got my PhD. So they went to Ministry of Education to check. And Ministry of Education checked about the university that I did my PhD. They sent officers to this university to find out whether it's true or not. And it came out to be true. So I want to inform you, and the public should know that I'm not buying my degree as other Malaysian politicians who bought degree from UK, from America, a fake university, a fake degree. But Ibrahim Ali got a true degree from a university. But of course this university is not recognized by Malaysian government. But anyway, this university have a collaboration with University of Malaya. Even with my PhD with IIC University, I can prolong my study to do a second PhD with University of Malaya using this degree. So that is my history of education background. So I'm now known as Dr. Ibrahim Ali. Thank you very much. Okay. UMNO is a party that, which everybody owns. Because UMNO is a party that fought for independence. UMNO is a party that, responsible developing our nation. As a party, UMNO has done a great thing to our country. The only unfortunate is that, so because UMNO been burdened to rule the country, to develop our country, and to help the Malays after 13 May tragedy. So, in short, it is a party in a hurry after 13 May. So UMNO failed to build the party from within so that the members will be resilient. You look like any other party, even Communist Party. I read the book written by Ronji. So how important that a party or an organization to what we call in bahasa Arab we call it tarbiyah, or in Malay kita sebut kepimpinan. Strengthening these values of leadership. We are in Islam, we are talking about iman in form of nationalism, we can say jati diri, patriotism, was not given serious attention by UMNO as a party. And because the development was going so fast in the country, there were a lot of opportunities. So then everybody in UMNO were rushing for opportunities to be rich, because the slogan of UMNO is Melayu mesti maju. So then the government also introduced, UMNO introduced a lot of good policy statement after 13 May. So we were given a lot of opportunity, but because Malay were not prepared. You see, Malay tak ada tarbiyah, tak ada jati diri, tak ada patriotisme. So it became a rotten race, or race bangsa which only look for material, post. So they start quarreling. Not only quarreling, because to be in position in the party, so that with the position they can do business, they can get a lot of opportunity, they start practicing corruption. So at the end of the day, you see what happened to UMNO. Before the downfall in PRU 1914, few years before that, every day people were talking about UMNO is a corrupt party. Not only among leadership, right down to the grassroots. You know, the election of head of division, youth, women's wing, it's all about money. Millions of money. So, UMNO, you know, is what they call kesat effect of this corruption. But anyway, I can put in a short form why it happened. UMNO is only 63 years old. So we can also refer to the law of nature. The law of nature says anything new, it become old. You follow me or not? The evolution is 50 years. Then it rebound. So that's what happened to UMNO. You see other party, Congress from India, after the downfall of Congress, during the family of Indira Gandhi, then you look at Golkar, Indonesia, also be defeated. After so long in power, even LDP, Japan, they get back to power, they lose, they get back to power, they lose. So, to me, it's something to do with the law of the nature. So 63 years old, in the hurry to develop the nation, leaders get, tamak. Leaders get greedy with wealth, power, and they forget about the basic struggle of UMNO. Then 63 years, I consider is quite long and something that, the great, because no other party can survive for 30 or 40 years. So don't regret. So that because UMNO, what happened to UMNO today is the fate of law of the nature. So the future of UMNO, I cannot predict. What's going to happen in the PRU 15? They already formed an alliance with PAS, but it seems that they have a problem with Persatu. And within UMNO itself, they have groups quarreling each other as before, never settled, as usual. So only God knows the future of UMNO. That's why we formed PUTRA as an alternative of Family Party. First, after I lost my position in UMNO, I don't join any party. But I keep contesting election as independent candidate. So I saw one of your questions. You seem to be very popular, but you lost the election. You know why? Because I contest under independent. It's very difficult to win election under independent in this country. But mind you, I'm the only candidate, independent candidate, who secured very big votes. For example, PRU 14. No, PRU 14. I contested as independent candidate. In Pasir Mas, I got third highest. PAS won the election. UMNO second. I'm third. And number 4 is Pakatan Harapan candidate. I got about almost 7,000 votes. But anyway, after general election in 2008, that's where the time where Malaysian political landscape being changed. BN lost 5 states, lost 2/3 majority in parliament, and the emergence of IT, media social, and at that time PAS joining Pakatan Rakyat with the AP. So because of this, there was a lot of problems facing them there. And people are start attacking, non-Malays start attacking Malays, you know, Islam, Raja Melayu, our king, all kind of unnecessary remarks. So that's why I sat down with my friend, we formed PERKASA. So we start making noise, defending Malays, defending Islam, defending our rulers too. For almost 12 years. We have 700,000 members. Very popular NGO. And I've been called Ibrahim Ali the racist. Besides Ibrahim Ali the king of fraud, another title that I carry is Ibrahim Ali the racist. Because I defended the Malays. The Chinese that defended the Chinese, the Indians, they are not racist. But I defend Malays using PERKASA platform according to our constitution. I don't go and I don't cross the line of Malaysian constitution. Then, 2004, I contest election. 2008, I contest under PAS banners. I was given an opportunity, but I'm not the PAS members. And then later, 2013, I contest as independent. At that time, I was the president of PERKASA, but I contest under independent, as an independent candidate. So, after the 14th election, we sat together because before 13th election, not the 14th, there was already a resolution, a demand by PERKASA members at the grassroots to turn PERKASA to be a political party. But at that time, we don't buy the idea because we don't want to disturb UMNO. Even we support UMNO indirectly. But after 2014, after we have a lot of discussion among our leaders, and we met academicians, prominent people, quietly, meeting here and there for a few months, we decided to form a new political party. So we formed a party by the name of Parti Bumi Putra Perkasa Malaysia, Indigenous People Party of Malaysia, in short, PUTRA. So we put the application. Almost 8 months, there were no news. Then we take the matter to court. After the court decided on the date of hearing, on the 8th of May, we were called by Registrar of Societies that our application was approved. After 9 months. Whereas, when Tun Mahathir and Mahyudin formed Bersatu during Barisan Nasional Government under Najib, Bersatu was registered within 1 month. How good and generous Datuk Syreen Najib is. Or Najib scared of Dr. Mahathir, so he approved within 1 month. And maybe Datuk Sri Najib thought that Bersatu won't go far. So when Dr. Mahathir, Mahyudin became a government, we applied PUTRA 9 months. Even that we have to bring the matter to courts. Why I raised this matter? Now Mahathir formed Pejuang, Parti Pejuang, with his son Mukhlis. They are now making noise because after 3 months, Pejuang is not yet registered. I consider it's a big joke because during BN under Najib, Bersatu was approved within 1 month. During PH, a government, when Dr. Mahathir was a Prime Minister, Mahyudin was a Deputy Home Minister, PUTRA was registered after 9 months. Now, PN have become a government, they expected Parti Pejuang be registered, if possible, within 24 hours. You see how funny it is? I just want to show the double standard. And I want to tell you, even though there is no clear question about this, before I formed PUTRA, we are talking around, Tun Mahathir himself decided to form a new party, and Mahyudin Bersatu. And the first person that he invited to discuss about the new party they want to form is me. Because I'm close to Tun. My relationship with Tun, I can consider like son and father. We were very close. You see, after Tun retired for almost 15 years, I never leave him. I care for him. Wherever he goes, I will always be at the airport to send him off, to receive him back, and I give platform to PERKASA, to him, to speak. And he spoke about Malay agenda. So when he formed the Bersatu, it's a long story. Last minute I withdraw because Tun decided to bring Bersatu as a member of PH with DAP, which I don't agree. Because all this while, under PERKASA, before this, we were attacking DAP as anti-Malay, including Dr. Mahathir. So then later we have to join PH, cooperative with DAP. So I feel this is something to do with marwah, principle. Wow, it's very difficult for me to decide. But as Brutus said, not that I love Caesar less, but I love Rome more. Bukan saya tak sayang Tun Mahathir, tetapi saya sayang pada negara saya. Because I cannot accept JP. The same thing with Anwar Ibrahim. Actually, I'm very close to Anwar. We go to detention camp together. I know him when I was in Form 6. He was a student leader, PKPIM, National Union of Malaysia Muslim Student in University Malaya, final year. And I'm leading Malay Student Islamic Party, Islamic NGOs in Kelantan. We were close. But when he got involved with something that Dr. Mahathir convened us, I did him. The same thing with Tengku Rozali. I joined 40C. After we lost the election in 1990, I said I go back to UMNO, Communal Unity. Tengku Rozali is reluctant. He want to pursue with 40C. I leave Tengku Rozali. So there were 3 occasions that I leave. I consider my mentor, my leaders, people that idolize, Anwar, Tengku Rozali, and Dr. Mahathir, which offered a quite good position in Persatu if I stay on. But I refuse. I rather contact bebas, independent, which I know I'm going to lose. I'm going to lose, sorry. But doesn't matter. So, if you take this into account, who are more having principle compared to the so-called Ibrahim Ali, the kata? People will get opportunity. I throw many times opportunity. There are a lot of golden opportunity that come to me, but I never grab it. People say, opportunity only come once. I know that, but I don't buy that. I keep going on with my own way, even through hardship, financial problems, constraint. It's not easy, and it doesn't ensure the success. Whereas you see the opportunity is in front of you, but I rejected it. When I was in politics for the last 35 years, I become member of parliament 3 terms. I contest parliamentary seat 6 times. I won 3 times. I lose 3 times. And I become a deputy minister. If I play politics as others play politics, you know, politics of kissing hand, politics of shut your mouth, don't talk a lot. At the time of looking Malaysia at the time now, having a lot of problem, I sometimes put my hand on my head. I always thought that actually I should be the Prime Minister of Malaysia. I think I can be better than others. But my shortcoming is that at times I cannot istiqamah. Lawan saja. Bising saja. Why? I can't stand when people hurt my race, bangsa saya, bila orang hina Islam, agama kita, raja kita, then I don't want to collaborate with corruption. Abuse of power is not me. So then I have to swallow lah. Because the rule of the day, if you want to be success, if you want to be success, if the party are all belong to the members who are thief, then you have to be a thief. Then you be successful. You dalam kumpulan orang yang karut dan you nak jadi baik, you boleh berjaya ke tidak? You will not be successful. Of course I feel proud. By having nothing like Perkasa or Putra, I can lead a party without any financial resources. And the people who join Putra are all educated people. We believe that the 2 parties that represent the Malays and Islam, one is UMNO, one is PAS. But they are all the old party that have gone through more than 50 years, which already affected by the law of nature. And this party also collaborate with non-Muslim party. For example, UMNO, they have MCA, MIC together. Is it PH? They have JP. So there is no more. Amanah is close to JP. So there is no Malay party that are really free from any bloc and who can speak loudly without fear or favor, firm with our decision, is only Putra. So that's why how important Putra is. And I hope the Malays and the young generation can bear with me. Please support us, because Putra can be an effective party, strong party, to play our role in the form of check and balance. Because other party cannot, talk big about Malay agenda. They are scared because they will lose votes from other races. UMNO was very careful because they don't want to hurt MCA. Bersatu, PKR or Amanah, they will, echo with DAP because they don't want to lose the Chinese vote. So that's why they are now, propagating liberalism, equalism, no more Bumi Putra, now Bumi Putra, that kind of thing. Why? Because they put politics as the main agenda. Putra, even though it's a political party, but we put Islam and Malay as an agenda. So that's Putra. So that's why we want to be a third force party in our country to play our check and balance. And if we win the election, if we can get few seats, 10, 15 seats, we can make noise in parliament on the Malay and Islam agenda. This is very, very important. If the Malay knows how to play politics, everybody should support Putra. Let others join the other party who are using party as a career. Let others who join other party who are looking for project. Let others join other party who are looking for position in government. Chairman of LGRC. No. This is the problem with the Muslim now. You see? Islam. People talk about Islam, use Islam as a political tool, but they are not practicing a true Islam. You just look at past life, who are the Islamic party. But now, 30 years in Kelantan, nothing doing. At last they bought a Mercedes, increased their salary. Kelantan is having air bersih, water problem. Thousands of Kelantanese have to leave Kelantan to look for jobs. Whereas Kelantan is a very special state given by God. We have few beaches, nice Kelantan river. Kelantanese women very hardworking, business women. Kelantanese are very educated. Most of the Malay student university, majority are from Kelantan. We are rich in food, we are rich in culture, but Kelantan is backward. Untuk nak menegakkan syariat Islam ni, pemimpin kena betul lah. But now, it's not only Malaysia. Everywhere in the world, Arabs are quarreling. That's why we cannot take back Jerusalem, Baitul Muqaddis. Because Islamic leaders, the so-called Islamic leaders, are all hypocrite and munafiq. The prayers be rejected by God, by Allah. If not, takkan jadi macam ini. Because we believe that in Islam, whatever God decide it happen. Kun fayakun. But why do it happen? Because Muslim leaders are double standard. They say different things, they do different things. Hypocrite. Munafiq. See, this is what happened. And sad to say, I've seen with my own eyes, the non-Muslim leaders are better than Muslim leaders. You see, non-Muslim country like Norway, Finland, Sweden, Japan, Germany, is this Islamic country? No. But you see their people, they are more Islamic than us. So that's why nothing happened in Islamic country. The only thing is that quarrel and fighting. Tak ada hidayah. Allah Ta'ala tak tolong. Doa kita tak sampai. So, yeah, everybody wants to see our country become a great nation. At one time, we are very happy. Few years back, we are talking about good thing about our country. Malaysia, role model of Islamic country. Do you remember? Malaysia, the front third world country, and we are going to be a developed nation by year 2020, this year. But what happened for the last few years? Why? Because of political turmoil. Actually, before 2008 election, where BN lost badly 5 states and lost 2/3 majority in parliament, Malaysia were doing good at that time. There is no racial problem. Do you remember? There is no racial problems. I mean, there is no issue about each and everybody hurting each others through racial remarks, sentiment. But when it happened, after election 2008, during Pak last time, when PAS joined Pakatan Rakyat, I considered, before that, PKR worked together with DAP. Then PAS joined Pakatan Rakyat during the late Ni Aziz. So this is where DAP become big-headed. I considered this is where the time where the floodgate is open for other races to attack Malay and Muslims and Malay rulers. Before that, they were scared because UMNO is very strong as a government. Outside UMNO is PAS, staunch Islamic party. Any issue, they were whacked easily. But when PAS joined Pakatan Rakyat, this is where the time I consider the floodgate is open. So PAS don't talk much. Part of the problem actually is from PAS, which created by Pakatan Rakyat. So now what's going to happen? On one side, we have the constitution. We have a social contract. Contract is contract that belong to the majority of Malays that been agreed before we achieve independence. Now there are party who champion the issue of equality. So they want to get rid of Bumi Putra, non-Bumi Putra. even to the extent that no more religious status in our identity card. They want everything to be at equal level. Even religion also should be at the same level. You can be together without marriage. You want to legalize LGBT. Gay is free in this country. No more affirmative action on economic program. No more special treatment to the Malays, to the Bumi-Putra. And this is what's going on. This is where UMNO get into trouble and lost the election. So, the way I look now, I don't know what's going to happen to this country. There is no more political stability. At the moment, the government is very weak. Under Tan Sri Yassin, everybody knows, 113. And because of the COVID problem, he want AGO to declare emergency. AGO refused to declare. And it's a crisis of leadership. And this COVID problem is going to prolong. Thousands of people lost job, lost business. You see, there was a cry by the public to withdraw the money from EPF. So, nobody can predict what's going to happen for the future. You see? But, well, COVID-19 also play a good part. There is less racial tension now because of the pandemic, COVID-19. But, let me say this now. Honestly, I admit that I cannot predict what's going to be the future of our country. If things is not condoned now, because everybody is taking into their own hands. Political party is playing politics for the sake of politics. They don't care less what's going to happen. We have to go back to the basic. If we want to have future, we have to go back to the basic. Work along the line which been stipulated in our constitution. Uphold the social contract. Majority of our citizens are Bumi-Putra. And Bumi-Putra are still left behind. Economically, the sharing of cake among the races is not fair in this country. But so long that the majority is in poverty line, B40, there is no guarantee of the stability in the future. That's why I always say to other races, when Perkasa or Putra talk about economic agenda, affirmative action, we go back to our social contract. Not that we are racist. We want to make sure that the majority of Malaysia population, whoso happen to be the Bumi-Putra, the son of the soil, if they are not be given equal treatment, sharing equal wealth of the country, you cannot guarantee the security of our country. So the security of the majority of the Muslim, of the Malay in our country, is also syarat, condition for the security of the non-Malays. Do you think the Chinese and Indians are safe if the Malays are in trouble? So Malays, Bumi-Putra, should be given whatever treatment that should be, so that we can equalize all races in this country. That if Malays are already at par economically with other races, then we can talk about equality. We can talk about playing on the same playground. But we are still behind. And you know what happened to the national language? About religion, sensitive issue. So this thing can explode anytime. But well, I pray to Allah, whatever happened, the most important thing is the security of the rakyat. And to make things worse, sorry to say that, we have all the leaders around us, most of them are hypocrite and munafik. Rhetoric. They say something wrong, they say something, they do something else. So ibaratnya, rakyat Malaysia ni, menang sorak, kampung tergadai. Yell every morning. Kuku, kuku, but the day doesn't come. And you tengok, there was a thunder. Guruh dia lagi. Thunder in the sky. But the rain doesn't fall. So, let us hope the best for our country. Thank you very much.